Hi everyone, Sarah here. I just wanted to share something with you today from Seamwork Radio, our podcast. So we've all been stuck at home a lot due to the pandemic, obviously, and that's led us to think a lot more about our spaces and how we use them for sewing. So we actually put together a article in Seamwork this month called The Ultimate Guide to Sewing Spaces. So you should definitely check that out if you want to explore this topic with us a little bit more. I'll put the link down below. But we also recorded a podcast about it. And the podcast is all about how to organize your sewing space, how to redo your sewing space without actually buying more stuff. So it's got a lot of creative ideas on how you can use what you already have to organize your sewing room. Haley gave me a bunch of tips on this. She's a lot better at organizing than I am, so I could really use these tips. But the tips that really resonated with me, I think, were the ones that were all about how to organize your fabric stash, because that's an area I kind of struggle with a little bit. And she had some really great ideas for doing that. So I wanted to share 3 of those tips with you today. So this is 3 of the 8 tips from the episode. And if you want to check out the entire episode, we'll put the link to that down below, or you can also find it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or whatever podcast app you choose. That's Seamwork Radio. So without further ado, take a look and learn how you can organize your fabric stash a little bit better.
Tip number 6. This is one that I used to use in my old apartment. Use hangers for your fabric. Most people have extra hangers laying around. Hang your fabric up. It's gonna, you're not gonna have to press as many creases and wrinkles out of it, which is a bonus. And also it really reduces the amount of space that it takes up. I used to have a pretty nice size storage closet in my old apartment, and I would fold lengths of fabric over hangers for things that I was planning on using in my upcoming projects. And it was an awesome storage solution. So if you have a little bit of extra hanger space in a closet, consider hanging up your fabric.
So what kind of hangers do you use? What kind do you like?
Oh, I'm a big fan of the really slim velvety hangers.
That's what I used to.
It's what we have in the office. That's what all of our photo samples are on. They save so much room. I'm a really big fan of them. Yeah. Do all of your hangers have to be the same color?
I endeavor to have them all be the same color. I do have a few mismatched ones in there right now just because I'm always running out of hangers and have a hard time throwing away what I have. But I would say mine are 99% black.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine are, I have some black, some gray, some beige. I wish I could be someone, but I think I tried once and then I went to go buy some more and they didn't have the color I wanted and it ruined my dreams. Yeah,
so that's always what happens. I've seen an advertisement on Pinterest lately for these pants hangers that you can hang them up kind of horizontally and they have the slots for your pants. And then you take one end off and it hangs vertically so that you can easily get things off. And I feel like that would be so great for fabric. Well, any pants hanger where it has multiple levels for pants, I think would be great. But
oh my gosh,
I felt like that would be perfect.
That's kind of like those hangers they have for ties or belts, but a longer version of it. Oh my gosh. Yeah. We should try and find that and put it in the show notes. So people,
I'm sure I will get served that ad again on Pinterest and I'll be able to find it.
We're going to try our best. Okay. So tip number 7, try making your own storage receptacles out of fabric. There are some projects in the community, some people who are doing this. So genius and such a great way to use up that fun print in your stash that you love, but you just don't know what you're going to make out of it. So genius. Making your own little storage bins. I love this idea.
Yeah, I think the one I saw recently in the community was her first ever sewing project, I think she said.
Whoa.
Which is so cool.
It's in my mind, I'm like, wow, I wish I could do that. I definitely could. It just sounds so it sounds so cool. I'm not that cool. I can't make storage bins.
Yeah, she made them, and she made one as like a plant cover for, to put the pot in. And
Cute.
it was really cute. Really cute.
You could also make some rope bowls, big rope
Mhm.
baskets. That's my like sewing obsession. I love making them. We actually have a tutorial on Seamwork, so we'll also put that in the show notes for you guys to check out. And last but not least, tip number 8 is wrap fabric around some cut up cardboard to create mini bolts of fabric. If you are like me and you have a partner that likes to hoard shipping boxes in your garage, also something we talked about in the last mini episode, then you have a surplus of cardboard that you can cut down and make some improvised fabric bolts out of. This is, I think, a really great way to store more special fabric that you want to keep neat and tidy. You could also do this with ribbon, elastic, notions that come by the yard, wrap it around a small hunk of cardstock or cardboard, just so you don't get a tangled mess in your notions, drawer.
Yeah, that's always something that I'm struggling with. I used to keep everything in jars, and it was just things would get a mess, especially elastic.
I remember the jars of ribbon and at the office, and every time I was like, oh, I'll use that ribbon. It was like, okay, I have to, it's like untangling.
Steal yourself.
Necklaces or something.
Yeah, at least you could see it all.
Yeah, and it was pretty. It was really pretty.
Live and learn.
So there you go. That's 3 of the 8 tips from this episode of Seamwork Radio that's all about how to organize your sewing space without buying a lot of extra stuff. And I realize, yes, you could buy those fancy pants hangers that we mentioned that we came across. You absolutely don't have to, though. You can use what you have at home, the hangers you have at home, for that tip. And we have a whole bunch of other tips on how to organize your sewing room with stuff you have, or by making things, or by repurposing things in this episode. So you can find Seamwork Radio on Apple Podcasts. You can find it on Spotify. You can click the link down below and be taken to it, or you can find it on the podcast platform that you like to use. So I hope you'd enjoyed it. Be sure to check out that article we have in Seamwork this month called The Ultimate Guide to Sewing Spaces. We have a lot more ideas in there for you. And if you're stuck at home right now and looking for a way to kind of make your sewing space a little bit more usable, a little bit more livable, a little bit more of a happy place to come to, then check out the article, listen to the episode, and hopefully you like it, and leave us a good review if you do. So that's it for now, and we'll see you later.